Bless you.
Yo, 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 we back again. It's the Shield. We bringing it hot, hot and ready to your city, whatever city you in. Tonight, we got a few people on the show. We got Los, we got Rome, we got my man Don Snipes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna let the guys introduce themselves. Go ahead, take it away, Rome.
Good evening, everybody. This your boy Rome. What up, though? For those from the Midwest, you know what it is. Let's go.
Let's go, Los. Take it away.
It's Los. It's Los the host, baby. What more can I say, man? Let's get it going.
All right, Don, what you got, brother?
Man, I'm Don Snipes reporting live from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Go Lions and go everybody from the D.
So we're gonna jump right into this, fellas. Let's just get right into it. We've heard some reckless talk about how much should be spent on a first date. I've heard all kind of numbers. You got women saying X, Y, Z. Some women call it. You ask them what they name. They say their name is Cash App. So we got to get down to the nitty gritty on this thing. Now the topic tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is $300 enough for a first date. I don't know where that number came from, but $300. And what is the dollar amount that we should be spending for a first date? Now I'm gonna go into a few things and I'm gonna pass it to my boys. So we already off to the wrong track, ladies and gentlemen. If any person, human being, lady, female, whomever, equates their self-worth to how much money a man is spending, in this case, heterosexual relationships, a man is spending on a first date. We got to get back to it. A lot of times we've gotten sidetracked. A first date is supposed to be about communication and listening, trying to find out or attempting to find out if this person is compatible with you on several levels. So I want my panel right now, I'm going to jump right into it. What do you say is the proper amount to be allocated for a first date? I'll start with our new guest tonight, Brother Don Snipes. Take it away, brother.
I think that the question is somewhat flawed. Um, Being as though that we're putting more emphasis on the dollar amount that's being spent as opposed to the intent behind why you're taking this person out. Um, and I think that's important. I feel like nowadays, when you take somebody out uh, to eat or lunch or whatever the case may be, dating, courting, however you want to, whatever you want to call it, it's a lost art. We live in a world nowadays where people they have short attention span to a lot of different things, and a lot of people are being led by what they see on social media. They're not really talking to family members, and unfortunately we don't really have a lot of elders out there. I'll share a quick story. I'll never forget. I was excited to go out on a date some years ago with a young lady, and I stopped by my aunt's house to pick up something. And she said, "Hey, where are you going?" I said, "Hey, I'm going to this steakhouse tonight." She said, "That place really expensive." She said, "Hold on a minute." So she goes in the back and she came out. She had a 25% off coupon and a $50 gift card. Now, mind you, this steakhouse, the steak alone was $75 with no sides. Okay, it was one of them type of joints, right? I'm
Right,
thinking
right,
I want to make this good impression. So
right.
I said I'm not pulling out no coupon on my first date. I mean, she said, "Why?" I said, "Man, I don't want her to think that I'm cheap." Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She looked at me and she said, "Any woman that looks at you funny because you pull out a coupon on your first date, maybe that's not the one you need to be with." Now, mind you, I was young, so I put up a lot of fuss, right?
That's
Here's
right.
the deal. Um, if you looking for true companionship, if you looking for somebody that's really supportive of you, if you're looking for somebody that's going to be by your side and other than just some sex, you want somebody that's going to be supportive of you saving a buck. It's just smart, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like nowadays, so many people are into till you make it, and I wanna kind of show that I'm this and I'm really not that. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, listen, that stuff now is we people go above beyond proving to other people that there's something, and that's not even, it's not necessary. I think that because so many people are putting dollar amounts on dates and all of that, you're not even really getting the version of somebody's true authentic self. And so
Absolutely.
needless to say, when I took the coupon, it was some wisdom that I cherish to this day,
I
because
love it.
I wish a chick would say something if I pull out a coupon on our first date and I'm paying for it and she don't have to reach in her pocket for nothing. It's just smart. If
Right.
I pull out a $50 gift card and we going somewhere to build $200-300 and I'm trying to save and I get clowned for that, that's gonna be the last time that I go out on a date with baby girl.
Hey, Don, you own to something, but I'm gonna redirect something. I'm bringing it back to my boys in the chat. How do y'all feel, ladies? In the chat, how do you feel about a brother on a first date pulling out a coupon? Put it in the chat. I want to hear about it. Now, brother Rome, give me something, man. Give me something.
Ah, hey, that was good, Snipes. For those that don't know, my boy Snipes, my man is in several Tubu movies. He's an actor out there, so check him out. But let's talk about this topic, man. I don't understand where this number came from, and why everybody is coming up with a specific number. Because we got to be real. $300 in certain cities is a lot. Gas in California, when I went out to California, man, that's the reason why y'all don't see me out there a lot. I look at y'all gas prices and it just turns me all the way off. I'm just being straight up. We ain't talking about a date. We talking about the gas. When I come out there and I see those prices, I almost get depressed. And it's like, you talk about eating and I got to pay for it? Like, I'm talking about just me. I'm not talking about somebody else. You think I want to go out there and spend $600 for somebody to come back and say, well, you know what, Rome, you're a nice guy, but you might be a little too nice for me. And it's like, okay, so I done spent $600. I'm including my gas that it took for me to come down here. I'm not just looking at the food you talking about. So my thing is, you know how women can say, oh, I'm celibate after 5 kids or 3 kids or 2 kids? I'm financially celibate.
I heard that.
I pick and choose who's going to get my money. And and if you accept, because I'm gonna give you options. I'm not letting you choose this thing. I'm gonna give you the options that I know, because I'm asking you what's your favorite cuisine. If you say Italian, I'm already looking up the places. Have you ever been here? Because I already see what the price is. Because as the men, you have to know your budget. And depending on where you are, LA, Miami, New York, it's expensive. I'm not about to go out here going broke to take you somewhere just for you to decide when you get home, girl, he was okay. He dressed okay. I may give him another shot. No, it don't work like that. So that's my take. I just don't like the number, because I've seen people, especially the older folks out there. We're talking about aunt, my boy Don Snipes, his aunt. They got that wisdom for a reason. You know what they used to tell me what they did? I was talking to an aunt earlier. She told me the date of the times of the 70s was going to the skating rink, Northland skating rink back in the
I
day.
like that. I
So,
like that.
so that was the way you was able to mix and mingle. So young ladies, where this number came from, it's all about getting to know the young man. It's not about that dollar amount that y'all got in your head off of social media. That's my take.
Financially celibate. That's the word of the night. Come on, Los. Holla at your boy.
I mean, my thing is, I believe in keeping it very, very conservative, right? Me personally, I want the chick. Now that I know what I know now, I want the chick to come in and say you cheap and you ain't get. Cause see that's the point. The point is, if you come in there modest and you come in there and you can swing off your feet with your personality, your charisma at Starbucks, and you act like you ain't got it, I like that. Like Chad Ochocinco said, I took my fiance the first time to McDonald's. That's my favorite restaurant. And guess what? She went to McDonald's, she ordered off the menu, and she was happy. And I was like, McDonald's? But see, the thing is, it's not about the date, it's about the gratitude. Maybe if I pick you up a flower off the park bench and I said, man, this is for you, you are as lovely as this flower, are you gonna look at me like I'm stupid? Or are you gonna really say that was so sweet? And so my thing is, it's all about the real, true intentions. So let's get back to being authentic with our own self, not like Snipe said, not faking it till we make it. But let's really get back to this is who I am. Now I ain't gotta rent no car to pull up. Like this is what I am. This is what I'm rolling up in. This is what I have. And at the end of the day, you should appreciate the fact that I'm modest. Let me say this last thing now. Women talk all this stuff about chivalry, right? But this somebody taught me this, right? But if you open up a door for a lady in the car and she don't reach back to try to open up the car door, that's a bad sign, right? Because it's showing you at the end of the day, and that's the same thing with a date. If she don't, hey, I got 50-50. Hey, we don't have to order all of that. I don't need no dessert. Like, no, you know what? Let me just order off that. If you see she trying to throw you the assist, this is a good sign. Because at the end of the day, you can play it like, no, baby, I got this, or you can let it ride. Roll the dice and let it ride.
Well, I tell you what, some women say if you talking 50-50, you cussing.
Hey, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to.
Hey, they said hey, you got women talking about on the online dating, fellas, no coffee dates. I don't do coffee dates. They want the princess treatment. They want that princess pastor treatment. Now, here's what I'm gonna say.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say this. So here's where we do play a role, fellas. I gotta say, I gotta call a spade a spade. Now, when we talk about the OnlyFans culture, ladies and gentlemen, 90% of the patrons of OnlyFans are men. We own that tricking. We sipping on OnlyFans. You paying that fee. It's a transactional fee. And they saying if you can pay that OnlyFans woman to let it all hang out, and I'm being nice now, let it all hang out. You can't take me on a proper date. The devil is a lie. Come on, talk to me, somebody. What you got, Don? Give me something on that.
That's wild within itself. That's first and foremost. That's wild. Let me just say this, right? OnlyFans is but one only one medium where people go and they have their sexual kinks. Yes, that may be a true stat, but I'll give you this stat. Uh, Pornhub came out with a stat that said that their biggest amount of viewers came from the belt. All right. Now, a lot of people may say, well, what of significance is that? Well, to me, I think that it speaks to a culture that, you know what I'm saying, when you start having conversations about religion, monogamy, those conversations, there are not a lot of people. It's like they say they agree with these things on the surface. But to me, if y'all saying, yeah, 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 and then y'all going and watching Pornhub, you understand what I'm saying? After it's all over with, to me, somebody not happy. To me, OnlyFans is kind of like a thing, and what I mean by that is, on OnlyFans, not only do you have a lot of women, but there's a lot of people from the LGBTQ community on OnlyFans. You have people that are into that shucking and stuff. So I'm not necessarily, certain about the facts about, a lot of men spending a lot of money on OnlyFans. That may be very true, but I will say this. I think that it's important to whoever you go on a date with that you set some intentions. Here's the deal. I may want to take you on a date or out to eat or whatever the case may be for the purpose of business. Listen, every woman is not a good partner, life partner. You understand what I'm saying? Some women may have some business acumen or some other things, and we want to cultivate a relationship, a business working relationship with them. So I'm not go out and spend, you know what I'm saying, X amount of dollars, because here's my deal. The same way as men that we have instincts, women have them too. And when men lead with their pocket, to me, I've heard from a lot of women, they like, oh, I already know what type of dude he is. And they gonna cut into him, you know what I'm saying, as appropriate. So I'm saying that for me, if I take a woman out, um, look, there's this old thing, maybe I'm just being old school. And I think this subject that we're talking about ties into something that I recently heard. I heard this woman say that her child was upset about the car that she got her. She's in high school and she bought her a hoopty. And the little girl out and was like, I don't like this car, and got upset about it. So she posted this post online explaining the story. There were so many women on there saying, why are y'all not understanding that this child don't like the car? She don't like it. She don't have to. Now in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. Child don't have enough money to get her own car. Parents buy her car. Okay, it's not brand new, but you got transportation. Whatever happened to being grateful? So
Yeah.
now, as a man, when you start making these comments to grown women in the dating world, it's like, I'm not no kid. But here's my deal: if us as men, we offer to take someone out, and show them a good time, however we see fit, they can decide later on if they want to, uh, uh, um, pursue anything or take it further. But the fact that I'm taking my time, my energy, my effort, my dollar to do something nice for you, if it don't work for you, it don't work for you. But if you come into it with these preconceived notions or these prerequisites, to me, I'm be thinking to myself, are we dating or are you whoring? You know what I'm saying?
Don, stay there. You on to something. You on to something. They're saying that dating in 2024 is the new prostitution. Come on, Rome, bring me in on that.
Oh Lord, somebody pray for me out there. Lo, pray right now, Lo. I'm gonna keep it clean and PG for y'all folks. But oh man, it's funny that Snipes just touched on that because that's the way it is. Lim said earlier, the young lady, they said, hey, what's your name? The young man said, what's your name? She said, Cash App. I actually seen a video when we was in 2020 during COVID. It was about 6 months later. We towards like October. The young man met the young lady. She said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Instead of us going out to eat, why don't you give me the money? And we can do everything you was going to already want to do. But just give me the money. I'll cook the food. Let me do whatever meal you plan. And I said, wow. I couldn't believe that happened. And I was like, that young lady was straightforward to say something like that. But she said she was gonna cook. And you could do whatever you want to do. But I do feel like there's a crazy culture out there right now with some of the ladies out there, and they're pushing the narrative of give me the money. You know what I'm saying? And they leading with that money. They're like, hey, are you gonna pay my car note? Are you gonna pay my mortgage? Are you gonna pay my rent? If you're not doing any of that, and some of them, even if they tell you, hey, I'm going to get my braids done today, it costs $300. They're expecting you to Zelle or Cash App $300. Now, here's my take. It's so many songs. Remember the songs we was coming up, fellas, in our age group? Put a ring on it. Do all of this. If I'm paying for your hair, you best believe you about to be wifey. Not
Uh-oh.
first date, not first
Uh-oh.
date material. Not first
Uh-oh.
date material. Because we're not talking about somebody you knew from high school. We're not
Right.
talking about somebody you knew from college. We're
Right.
talking somebody that you don't know from Adam. And
That's
this
right.
young lady's telling you, hey, you got to pay my car note. Well, what were you doing before I arrived? Well, I was
Right.
paying it. You need to continue to pay it because I'm not paying your car note so you can have Pedro in the car as soon as I leave. There we go. I'll let my brother come in. Come on in, Los.
And Los, before you come in, what Rome just said right now, I want to say this quickly and I'll let you go. What he just said right now is financially celibate. I want to stay on that precipice. I want to stay on that precipice. But what he's also saying is you have to be careful. There are women now that are requesting, dare I say, demanding that to go on a date, you got to pay for the babysitter. Come on now, Los, talk about that.
Man, shout out to the people in the chat. What up, Low, True Slayer? I see my boy Bishop, right? So Bishop made a very interesting point before I tackle this, right? My man Bishop said the true players know that if you spend money on a lady excessively, this means she don't like you anyway. You ain't like my thing is you don't have to spend a whole lot of money if the chick like you already, right? So when
Right.
Rome said financial celibacy, I don't really agree with that. Me personally, I feel like if it's the one and we having a good time, because see, little do you know, I wanted to go see this live band anyway. I want to go check out this band anyway. Matter of fact, I was going to go see this movie anyway. I just wanted you to go with me. And that's how I get down, right? So if it was me, it would be a situation where I wanted to go here anyway. And if this wasn't a good date, then it wasn't a good date. And then I ain't got to call you back or whatever. But I got a story. Like Snipes, I got a story. Here you go. One of my guys told me he was really digging this chick, really feeling her, right? He didn't do the babysitter stuff that Lim talking about, but he was really, really digging this chick. They've been on 3 dates. And everything was smooth, man. And he was like, man, Los, I ain't gonna lie to you. After the second date, I really knew I liked this girl. Then we went on the 3rd day, and they older, mind you. Let me throw this out here. They in their 50s. So he said, well, he in his 50s, and I think she was like late, early 40s, right? And so he said they went on the 3rd day, and he was like, "Ooh, Lord, she might be the one." And then so the 4th day came where she was like, "Well, all my girls going to this Bruno Mars concert at the new Clippers Stadium, and I think we should go." And then he was like, "Baby girl, them tickets $1,500 a piece. Like, we ain't going to, we ain't going to see Bruno." Like, cause see, to me, I'm like, we could have sat at the crib and put Bruno on YouTube on Tubi. For me, the point is, I'm just saying, why we can't listen to Bruno and set the atmosphere? Why we can't let it rain outside or put the rain sound on with the LED light? They got so many things nowadays that would kill the game. Hey, Snipes know what I'm talking about. They got too many things that would kill the game where you can close your eyes, squinch it 3 times. You would think we at the Bruno concert. So I just don't know.
I will say, I
Hey,
think there's some. Yes,
Snipes,
sir.
hold on just a sec. Hold on just a second. Just so a second. So Los, what you saying is you want to reinvent or basically recreate that same vibe, but not live at the house. And
The
she's
thing,
telling you, her,
the thing is, what you got to be able to understand is let's really be serious, right? Like Rome said, he was laughing and joking, but he wasn't really joking because I know Rome, but he was talking about LA gas prices, right? But the truth of the matter is, we really living in a society where there's a lot of inflation going on. I'm talking about eggs, milk. So my thing is this: for you not to be considerate of my situation and think I'm gonna spend $3,000 for an hour concert, to me that's absurd. Let's be, and I don't even know you. We might not even be together.
Los. Now here's the challenge, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm coming to you, Snipes. The challenge is when a woman is in that mindset, she's comparing you to what the other man did
I
or
know.
kept. Right? See. We did now. We got to be honest, guys. We tell women that when we look at you, we're not just looking at you. We're looking at you, measuring you against all the other women. So when women are talking about that dollar or entertainment value, that's based upon an experience they probably already had, right? Somebody done tricked off on them before, or experience their girlfriends keep telling them, girl, my dude is doing this. So at least you got to find someone doing XYZ. So we got to discuss that too. Snipes, bring me in right now. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
I I think that again, it's important to honor your partner's differences, right? I talk about this all the time, and what I mean by that is this: there are some people that love to get out and have new experiences. Some people that are very adventurous. Listen, I'm a foodie. All right, I love to travel. I love to be around water. I'll never forget. I was out one day with a young lady, and she hated the water. So whenever I would say, "Hey, look," she had a little shorty. I'm like, "Let's go to the water park. Let's do A, B, and C." That really wasn't her cup of tea. I say all this to say that I think that another mistake that a lot of people are making is everybody's grouping everybody, so it's just like men should do this, women should do that, and when you do that, you make a huge mistake. I tell people all the time, some women can't cook worth a darn. Some men they cook really well.
Get
Some
out of
men
there.
some men are not good at handling finances, but some women are. All right, and so I say that to say that some women love to plan, some men love to be spontaneous. It's important when you start dating someone to ask them these questions. I think a lot of times, women just automatically assume as men we only care about exterior. Oh, long as I got a nice little shape on me, then that's all you really care about. Maybe in the beginning, but at the end of the day, if you're really talking about being with someone that's gonna, stick around for a minute, then baby, you got to come with some substance. And I think that's a conversation that a lot of people are just not having. It's almost taboo nowadays for men to have conversations where men talk about standards. You understand what
Mhm,
I'm saying? And
mhm.
even amongst other men,
Right.
you know, I think that old model of what masculinity looks like, it needs to change, and it needs to change for many different reasons. If a man express himself nowadays, he called sassy. You
We.
know,
Yeah.
if a man put up any fuss about what he may or may not do, depending on how well he knows you, oh my God, his it's like his manhood is questioned. I think that our generation, we need to make sure that we talk to a lot of younger men and let them know, listen, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't fall for the emotional blackmail. Don't fall for the simp shit, excuse my language, where you have somebody basically telling you, you know what I'm saying, what manhood looks like based on where or what you do for them,
Right.
because I believe that there's plenty of women that are looking for different things. We just need to make sure that we keep our eyes open for those type of women and not just make, they say the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is a beautiful thing when you use it for what is needed for. But if I'm gonna date somebody and her only focus is on that, I'm gonna question at some point, like, damn, do you love the money or do you love me? I don't need somebody that love the money more than they love me.
That's a good point. Los, I got you coming up right now. In the chat, I need you guys to respond to this question. Are you dating for your self esteem to be validated, i.e., what someone is spending on you? Or are you dating to get to know this person to see if this is a potential love connection, business, well, chemistry connection, something that has fruit, something that has value? Put it in the chat. If you're single, put it in the chat. Come on, Los, give me something. I saw your hand. Give me something.
I was just piggybacking off Snipes. All I'm saying to you is just think about this really clearly. You can't compare this guy that you're dating to the other guys because it would have worked with the other guys, right? If he was spending all this money in his bag and you flying you out from Miami, and those are all great experiences. Don't get me wrong, but if it was working, that's where you would be, right? So the fact that you here at dinner with me shows me you want something different, right? Or you're requiring something different, or you're expecting something different. So sit back, baby girl, for the ride and enjoy this modest date. Huh? Cheesecake Factory. Huh? McDonald's. Huh? Wendy's. Sit back here and enjoy the vibe, because what I'm trying to explain to you is you would be surprised what happens when you open up a smaller package. It might be something bigger in the smaller package. My thing is, it might be something that you can go from one package to the other. Would you rather get one package for your lifetime or numerous packages throughout your lifetime? You be the judge.
So, Los, you brought up a great point. You saying that if you had the whining and dining and you didn't end up with that man, then it's time to do something different. Now, here's the thing. They say that the time that a woman hits the wall and makes a transitional shift in how she approaches dating, sometimes it comes later in life, i.e., 40, i.e., 50. But in her hot girl years, 20s and 30s, when she can drop it and niggas, excuse my language, men gonna pick it up, then she's saying, I want what I want. And even if it ain't good for me, I want it. Come on, Rome. Can I have something in here? Come on, brother. Give me some soul food.
Hey, I always tell everybody, man, when it comes to dating, it's all about preference. Coming up in the time I came up, we was competing with the rock boys, the boys who was out there slanging, everybody watching BMF right now, but it was people living that life. Going to school, you can't really compete with that. So it's one of those things like, hey, you got to choose your lane and stay true to who you are. I always tell everybody, the streets ain't for everybody. That's why they made sidewalks. And so you got to be comfortable as a man and be the sidewalk sometimes. So when you run across those young ladies who's showing you they hand, which is, hey, I'm for the streets. Hey, this is what I'm doing. You just got to be able to walk away and take it for what it is. You can't get upset at it. You just got to realize that that's what they own, because it's all about preference, And it's funny because you will see, you live long enough, you'll get a chance to see that life cycle go all the way around. The very people who you wasn't this for them, you wasn't that for them, you wasn't this. All of a sudden, you go to a Myers at home, or Walmart, or the Coney. Oh, I've been thinking about you. Well, hopefully it was for prayer, because there ain't gonna be nothing else. You hear all of those different things, man. It's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
for prayer.
It's funny how that cycle go around, because those same young ladies, once they get burned, we were just talking about how people, Los just said it, if it really worked, you wouldn't be here back on the dating scene. You would have that ring, you would have that happy family, you would be doing all these different things. So sometimes you gotta do things differently, because life will show you. You think today, yeah, in your 20s, that hot girl, all that's fun. But let's see if you still on that when you're 35. Let's see if
I
you
got,
40.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's see if you on that at 40 and everything. 9 times out of 10, it was a phase, and you grow out of that, and then you get to that age. But guess what? The men that know you and from your block, they gonna remember all of those things. And if they know that that's what you was on, unfortunately, they don't want that. You know how you go on a plane? You got the high mileage, you got the sky mileage, you got the platinum and all this. They want the low mileage. They don't want somebody with them sky miles. They want low mileage. I'll say that.
So here's the thing, man. You brought up a great point. So when you think about this, guys, here's the saying on the streets: the rules that women make are for the men they don't want, and they break the rules, all the rules they break for those men that they want. So they tax the dudes that they really not feeling, and then the dude that they really feeling, he get to ride the ride. And sometimes you get to ride the ride for free, if you get my drift. Come on in here and talk to me about a free ride, Brother Don.
And listen, I'm gonna say this. If I'm out with somebody and I'm gonna piggyback off what Lo said. If I'm out with a woman, and I'm really feeling her, and I decide that I want to do something really, really nice for her to make an impression or just put something on her mind, that's gonna be my choice.
Mm.
And I don't have a problem doing that. One thing about me, I'm very spontaneous. I brought a woman to a place to eat that I don't normally eat at. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like if I'm really going to give her an opportunity to know who I am, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of indulge in something that is relatable. I feel comfortable. And again, that's just me. Now that may work for some women, it may not. I say all that to say that I think that a lot of times, even when we start talking about marriage, always been double standard with men having to show that we are husband material, and women saying, "Well, I ain't gonna do too much. I'm gonna save that for my husband." You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? And so
Uh-huh.
when you start talking about that, now the conversation is just like, okay, well, wait a minute. I need to show you that I can be supportive financially, I can be supportive emotionally, all of these things. All right. And then the women say, well, I just need to see that, you know what I'm saying, before I decide if, you're going to, you good husband material. But
Mhm.
when men say, well, I need to see a few things, and here's the deal: men and women, we different. Some of them things that we might want to see, they might not be what they want. You understand what I'm saying? So I say all that to say that again, for myself, I have been working on being my authentic self, and that's one. Second of all, I think it's important that we learn how to better communicate with people, with women. As men, we have to learn how to ask the right questions to women.
Right.
We have to learn, like, just so we can pick her brain in a way to say, you know what, I need to know, are you good material? You know what I'm saying? While you worried about how much cheese I'm spending, I need to know X, Y, and Z from you, so that now I can better assess who I'm dealing with. Because if there are some men out there that are falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and they're more focused on women validating their manhood, and I think that's a huge mistake to make as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically saying, if I date a bad chick, or if I date a chick that got a lot of Instagram followers, that boosts up my self-esteem or make me look like a certain type of dude. That's
Right.
that's weak too.
Right.
So
Right. Los, what you got to say to that, man? Guys out here tricking and spending all that, trying to impress.
I feel like I feel like it's an exchange. We both get something for the day. I want something at the end of the night, and you want to be showered with emotions and gifts and money, etc. So my thing is, it's an even exchange a lot of times in the era we live in now. However, I'm gonna shake the boat real quick. I'm sorry, Big Mama, because I ain't mean to say it. This is my disclaimer. I'm sorry, Big Mama. I ain't mean to go here, right? But Rome notice, I'm a gambler, Snipes. I like to gamble, right? And so a wise man showed and taught me, when you go to the crap table at the casino or on the sidewalk or with your guys and you shooting dice, you come in with a budget. I got $500 buy-in, right? And I got $500 cash on me, right? So, and if I shoot the dice, it's gonna tell you real fast in a dice game whether you gonna win or lose. You ain't gonna be there all day. It ain't like the slots. You ain't gotta be there for
Yeah.
hours. Like, you gonna be there for 30 minutes to tell you if it's good or not. If it's good or not. And I'm gonna give y'all a secret. This is very similar to dating. My suggestion is you put $150 in your pocket, 300, whatever your budget is. Like, you going to the dice table and you sit down and you order the wine and you see how everything. The first 30 minutes, you gonna know if you're gonna have to re-up on this date. You gonna know if you're gonna say, are we going ice cream after this? I don't want this to be over. Are we gonna go to the at the spot? I want to take her to this speakeasy that I really been wanting. And so you could ride the date like that if you got it like that, but it should be a budget as we go. Because I can tell you on that dice table, the first 30 minutes, 7 out, 7 out, 7 out. And so they say 3 of them, you say, I need to go ahead and go to the next casino or go home. Because that's a sign, go home. I'm
I
sorry,
like that. Hey,
I'm
look.
sorry, I'm sorry, Big Mama. I ain't mean to tell you I gamble. I'm sorry. I ain't got no problem, but everybody got a problem on our call. Gambling, gambling
that's
anonymous.
your, that's your vice. That's your vice. That's
I'll
all.
post the number, but anonymous is there. That ain't me
Hey,
though.
look. Los, I appreciate that analogy. And let me say this. I agree with you. Every gentleman has to make a decision prior, I would say even prior to asking a woman out on a date. You need to have a predetermined budget that works for you where you ain't out in these streets hurting yourself. And you know what I mean? Fellas, stop putting yourself on your back trying to impress her. Stop doing it. If you never did it, don't do it. Don't start that. And that's a message to the
So
young fellas.
is it disrespectful though? Is it disrespectful for somebody? And I'm sorry, Bishop, I see, but is it disrespectful for somebody to say, "Hey, baby girl, I got 250. This is what I want to do." I'm just because we in 2024. I'm just asking. I see you say. I'm asking for a friend.
Right, for a friend. Well, let me tell your friend. Tell him you got a hot 250. It's hot.
No, hey, my boy Bishop will say, "Hey, I got 250."
It's
Like
hot.
to me, I'm from Chicago, and Rome laughing at me, but he knows he's seen this at me numerous of times, and it's a negotiation tactic, right? But like, I'm asking if my boy Bishop say, "I got this hot 250," and she say, "I want to take this money and cook," like Rome said, and I'll keep the rest, and we can skip the A through Z steps. Like, is that? Because all I'm asking you is, if I go hunting with Rome and somebody say, "Well, I got this deer meat out here and I'm selling $59.99 a pound," am I gonna continue to hunt, or I'm gonna say, "Hey, come on, give me that deer meat there. Here go my money." I'm just asking.
Get straight to it.
Hey, yeah, well, you know what? I would tell this. I'm gonna go around the horn. I want to ask y'all this question. Would you appreciate a woman who was more direct and said, "Baby, we ain't gotta do all that. Look, I like you, or I'm interested in you, and I understand how men think. Listen, I know most women want this, but we can cook. We can come to my house and let's cook, or go to your house and cook. And in that way, also, you can get a little ice cream at the end of the day. Now, ice cream, fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. Little ice cream. You can also get some ice cream. We got to drive nowhere because ice cream right here. So come on, Don, help me out with the ice cream.
Look, this all I want to add to this conversation. Different strokes for different folks. There's somebody out there that, you know, again, you're gonna take them out and you're gonna want to do, period. She's not gonna have to ask. And I think that's important. I think that women need to understand, like, listen, if you carry yourself in a certain kind of way and it aligns with who I am as a man, you're not going to really have to ask me for anything. Because as a man, I instinctively know, you know what? Let me put this plan in action. On the flip side, I know it's all men on this conversation or you know, right now, but here's the deal. There's plenty of women that want to go out and get some on the first day too.
Right. Yeah.
You understand
Hey,
what I'm
watch out
saying? Like,
now. Watch out.
don't be mistaken. There's
Yeah.
women they
Hey.
say, you know what? I ain't been out in a while and I ain't had none in a while. Tonight about to be that night. You understand what I'm saying? Now they might go around, you know, getting to that differently than what men do, but I definitely can appreciate direct conversation from a woman. I think
Snipes, I got people asking, "What's the percentage?" What? And then Bishop, he just hit me on the side. He said, "Where they at?" I'm just saying.
I don't think. Listen. I'm gonna say this again, right? I don't think that the we ever gonna get the correct numbers on the percentage because
Right.
you know men lie, women lie, and I feel like a lot of times people are so fearful of judgment they don't even want to say. You understand
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? But I will
That's
say
true.
this: there are plenty of women out there that do not mind letting it be known what they want from a guy, and on the first date. And listen, I'm the older I get, my birthday was October 30th. I have developed a couple kind of new ways to look at life. I don't kink shame no more. I'm not judging. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you love feet, if you want to spend 250 on some first night and you let her know and that's your approach, hey, listen, different strokes for different folks. I think that that's when you find somebody that align with who you are and you be your true authentic self. That's all that really matters. I don't care, you know what I'm saying, about nothing else. That's why I said to some degree, when women sit around and they kind of come up with these preconceived notions about what is and what ain't, I don't think they realize that, or when men do it as well, we're really limiting ourselves to what the possibilities are. I'm a person that believes in endless possibilities. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna run into. You don't know who you're gonna meet that really kind of give you that spark, and you like, oh, you know what? She don't gotta ask me. I'm spinning it. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, and if she asks me, she gonna get it. It work like that sometimes.
You're right. And Don, I love it. Shout out to the Scorpios, though. Happy birthday. I want to
Absolutely.
say this. I want to say this, Rome. I'm bringing you in on this. Don brought up a great point, and the point he brought up is a woman that wants ice cream on the first date. She also, the only reason that they're not vocal about it is because men judge the women who want ice cream on the first date. We assume that come with a whole package. But sometimes a woman's been out of circulation and she's coming on a date and she's very direct and she wants to get back in circulation with her ice cream dessert. Now, Rome, come in here and talk about some ice cream.
Hey, hey, it's funny how this thing shifted. You know, the one thing I learned in life when it comes to women and men is we have verbal communication and nonverbal communication.
Yes, sir.
Um, when you're on a date, it's certain things that the young lady is doing that's giving you signs of get out, like you say, get out of there. Like get out of there. I went, this was long, like Bernie Mac would say, long time ago. Young lady I was dating, we went out. Now, we supposed to be, now this is somebody that I actually knew. This is not somebody that I didn't know of.
Okay.
And the whole time she was telling me, hey, I want to go to this play, but she was telling me she was going with her homegirls. So I'm just like, hey, go ahead and go, have fun. Everything shifted when she said, hey, I want to go to the concert. I mean, to the play, but what I'm wearing can fit in this purse, and the purse was the size of my hand. So I'm like, oh, I guess you trying to find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna be wearing something that's fit in that, you trying to find somebody. Fast forward, the whole girl couldn't go, or so she say. So who she called? Me. But again, she's wearing what she said in the thing. So I'm like, oh Lord. Tyler Perry play, I go to one of those and I'm thinking the thing is gonna be over because I'm already like, no, I'm not trying to mess up our friendship. I'm like, hey, we just gonna go to this play and I'm gonna keep it moving. She says, hey, I know you gotta be hungry. I'm like, Lord help me. Because I'm like, I'm trying to end this thing. So we go to Sweetwater in Detroit. They got the best wings. Snipes will know that. So that's up the street. Go to get the wing spot. So then I could see when we sat down, the whole dynamics changed. The nonverbal communication. She touched my leg. I'm like, whoa, hey, say, bro, like what you got going on here? But then I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not gonna judge anybody. I'm just gonna sit back. So let's just say the ice cream can happen, but sometimes as men, we can, if that's what you want, you can fumble the rock by doing too much, saying too much, and being disrespectful. So what I did is I said, hey, the first date is supposed to be about fun. We're about to have fun. So we enjoyed our conversation. I had her relaxed and we had a great night. So the food was good. The dessert was good. That's how I'll say my piece before we pass it along.
Come on, Lowe's, talk to me.
What dessert was good, bro?
He had some dessert, brother. That man had a sweet tooth. He had a sweet tooth. Come on here, Lowe's.
I'm gonna bring some sense to the conversation.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna hit you with a different approach, right?
Okay, all right.
Like we in 2024, and I think the ice cream stuff. It's a Baskin Robbins on every corner, right? Cones, the Cold Stones. You got Handels. It's an ice cream place on every corner. So I believe in 2024, whether you in rain, sleet, or snow, you could go get some ice cream if you got a taste for ice cream. And that is what it comes to when you talk about your ice cream too. That's on every corner, right? But just say, for example, you want a little bit more out of life. You tired of the ice cream. You want a little something more substantial. You know what I'm saying? You want something to last. You want to shake this time. Something's going to last a little longer, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to do something a little different. Like, say, for example, you really trying to be a good guy and live your life for the Lord. Just hypothetically, right? You trying to do it the right way. And the girl trying to throw the ice cream at you and all of that. I always was taught by my father is, because I'm a fisherman. Not only am I a gambler, Grandma, I fish too, Big Mama. So I'm fishing. But my dad say, hey, if a fish ever jump in your boat, he say, if a fish ever jump in your boat on the accident, you throw that one right back. I don't care how good it is, how beautiful it is. This the best catch you ever caught. You know, and I was like, well, why, Pops? Like, this the purpose. We out here fishing, right? But it just so happened this was a flying fish, and he came right in my lap. He said, that ain't the point. You supposed to catch a fish. It takes time to cast your nets. Woo! Get on up out of there, Lil. Cast your nets. You wait for the thing to go down, the bobber to go down, and then you're supposed to hook it, and then you're supposed to reel it on in nice and slow. And that is what it's supposed to be when you date. It's supposed to be a situation where it's supposed to be beautiful. Sex was designed to be amazing. Excuse me, ice cream. Right? It was designed to be beautiful, but it's supposed to be in timing. Because sometimes you can take the brownies out the oven and they ain't even done yet. Sometimes you can stick the fork in there and it's still kind of gooey and loose, hollow in there. So sometimes you got to let that thing cook until it's finished and ready. So as it relates, I believe that the Bible say there's nothing new under the sun. So I believe the same stuff that happened in the old school still can happen now, and you got to be able to do it like Big Mama say with the crock pot. You got to be able to keep it in the oven, wait till it's done, go ahead, go to work, and come back. So Big Mama say the truth takes time. So sometimes this young tender might have on that little dress and try to throw it at you and bend over and try to pick up the quarter. But that don't mean you have to fall for the banana in the tailpipe like Snipes said. Sometimes you gotta be, the older you get, you ain't gotta be thirsty for some ice cream. Sometimes you can be patient for the ice cream. You can throw it in the freezer and let it get harder. And then when it get harder, you can let that thing melt and then look. Because sometimes you can just look at the ice cream. Ooh, that look good, but I'm on a diet today. Ooh, I'm on a fast today. I ain't doing this ice cream no more. I'm doing a calorie deficit. Huh? No sugar. Okay.
All right, now wait a minute. Now wait just a minute. Okay. So what you basically saying, brother, is instead of having dessert, maybe you want some mac and cheese and some cornbread and some greens and some I got you saying something that's more filling. And so what we saying for the brothers that's looking for something more filling, here is the question. When you go out into that dating pool and you are a single man and you are looking for something that has more substance, so put this ice cream on the side. When you go out there, the one attribute that you got in your favor is you have to be able to listen with the intent to understand what the person is saying to you. You've got to ask the right questions, and we cannot be afraid. In my personal opinion, and as you get older, you guys will find this out. Is transparency is sexy. Transparency, getting someone to be honest and having honest dialogue with somebody, it means everything when you're trying to keyword vet, the person across from you. This goes for both parties. Rome, holler at me. We're running into the later part of the show. So what we'll do, fellas, we'll do a round robin of last comment, last thoughts as we wrap this up and put a bow on it. Let's go, Rome.
All right, I got a text from somebody that lives in the UK, and he was telling me the differences in first dates there versus here in the US. He said that over there, the young ladies tend to want to do walks. They want to go to the museum. They want to go to the Starbucks, the things of that nature, because he said they really want to know more about them. They're into you. He said his experiences here in the States, it was more about, what time you picking me up? Where are you taking me? Those type of things. So I think if we're talking about the ice cream versus the meal, if you think of a dessert, it's real quick. If you think of a meal, you're taking your time, like Los was talking about. We're talking about Big Mama's crock pot. Anything of substance, it's going to take time. It takes nurturing. That's why you didn't hear Big Mama making instant grits. Instant grits. These young folks now, I can get some grits. Like, no. That ain't the grits I want. It's got to take time. You got to stir that thing up and do it the right way. So I feel like there is quality on both sides. There's quality women out here. There's quality men out here. But what I think has to happen is a lot of times people have to change their circle because your circle is too negative. You got too many negative female friends, you got too many male friends. Females ain't this, men ain't this. Change your circle. And I often say this, I'll end with this. If you the smartest person in your circle, it's time for you to get a new circle.
That's right. Good words. I love those words, Rome. Don, give me something to walk away with on this one, brother.
Um, I'm gonna reiterate. I think that it's important that as men and women, we honor our authentic self, and I think that the more time we spend with even trying to figure out who that is, now we'll even know what direction that we want to go in. I was listening to a lecture that Myron Golden was having one day, and he talked about the importance of be, do, and have. He said a lot of people don't even know what to do because they don't know who they want to be. So what they do is they focus on the things that they want to have. So I think that all of us can agree, in life, we the type of women that we want around us, the type of women that we want to have, there's a certain activity that we need to do in order to attract those women. But if we're not being, true to ourselves, we're not going to know what to do to even bring those women into our life.
Right.
And that works both ways. You understand what I'm saying? Again, no judgment to anybody else. If you that type of guy that you want to impress a woman with your pockets, by all means, go for it. If you a guy that want to go out about it a little bit more modest, go for it. Some women I have dated men that are extremely cheap because he had other things that what I'm saying that she appreciated. So I think to each his own. I think that once you decide, who you are, now you know what to do, and all the things that you want, you'll have them. You'll attract those kind of things. And
I
that's it
love
for
it.
me.
I love it. Los, give me some final words on this, and I'm going to summarize it after that. Give me some final words.
I'll put it to you like this. I'll just use that same example as well. If you was out here spending all this money on a girl for a date, right, and you trying to impress her, what happens when y'all together and then she understands that you can't manage money well? You took from this to do that. So my thing is you want to be able to stay in your lane and you want to be able to stay exactly where you are. And I'm also going to say something really, really harsh from both sides, men and women. I think the era and the time that we live in right now, nobody is really talking about the true discipline. If you in order to get a six pack, in order to gain muscles, you're going to have to stop. You got to cut stuff out. You got to get up early. You got to work out. You got to do things you don't want to do. And I think that is the same thing in the dating scene. In order to get somebody you never had before, somebody you want to build a life and a relationship with, sometimes you got to cut it out. You got to do different things. You got to bring discipline. And so my thing is, it's not all about the quick fix, right? It's not all about, oh my gosh, she made me feel, or self pleasures, self love. It's not all about that. It's about you being able to discipline yourself to understand what is better for the greater good, long term, not quick. That is what I say.
And hey, fellas, this was an excellent show. We had a good time. I want to sum this up, and I'm gonna do it real quickly. I'm not gonna hold you. And we joke a lot, guys, and our audience, we love you guys. We have fun on the show. But when it comes down to, especially for a topic like this, here's what we're talking about. Are you willing to have an overhaul of your mind, or as the Bible say, renew your mind in order to get back to the place that you need to be to have the things that truly matter the most in this life? And when we talk about relationships, we're talking about companionship. So all the things that it takes to build up to get to a point where we're mature enough to even handle one, it requires us to let go of some of the things that are blocking us from the things that we truly desire. At the end of the day, life is simple, but sometimes we get in the way and make it hard because we're dealing with insecurities, we're dealing with fear, we're dealing with, you see what I'm saying, those apprehensions that hold us back. And all, in this case, God wants us to have is his best. There is a woman, there's a wife, there's a a young man, there's a husband out there for you, but it is going to require some level, as our like Brother Los, discipline. We're going to have to let some things go. We're going to have to renew this mind, and then we can have the things that we want. I want to say to everybody on this panel, I love you. Everybody in the chat, we love you. This was an excellent show. We're going to continue to bring you quality programming from my boys, my cohorts from Rome, from Los. And we thank God for my brother Don tonight. And all, as we continue to grow the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, keep coming back, because we're going to keep coming back, bringing it to you.
Let me say something, man. Snipes, before we leave, tell the people how they can find you, man.
Absolutely.
Man, Don_Snipes. And if you haven't already, you can check out the movie Don't Look Back. There's another one in a sentimental mood. 10 Toes Down, it's another popular one. The Landlord. Or you can just go to Tubi and type my name in.
So what about the relationship show you were just talking about?
The relationship show.
Yeah, what was the relationship one he just mentioned wrong?
That was a stage play in Atlanta. That actually might still be going on, but I was in a stage show down in Atlanta called Why Am I Still Single? Written by Kathy Smiles Entertainment. Yeah, I've been up here filming some movies, so I was in the show for a year. But if you're down in the Atlanta area and you ever see a flyer for it, it's a really, really good show. Why Am I Still Single by Kathy Smiles.
Yeah. Hey, everybody support my brother Don. God bless. We love you. Good night.